Hey there, welcome back to the Greater You. Good to see you guys today. So I'm Quentin, as you know, and I'd love to put these videos out there to think about some really important concepts to improve our lives and our well-being. Today's discussion is all around decision-making key concepts. This is huge, so I'll do my best to get through this. There's a lot to think about here. You'll see two lists here on the screen in front of you. We're going to talk about that first list, that top list first, and then the second list second. All of these are important pieces to take into consideration when we are working at, developing good decision making. Obviously, to one degree or another, these all weigh in on all decision making, but the type of decisions we're talking about today are the bigger decisions. Decisions around like career, decisions around where we live, decisions around key relationships like romantic relationships, decisions around picking a field to study in college. So kind of the bigger decisions, right? The ones that hold weight in our lives and have potentially significant outcomes and consequences in our lives. So first question, how do we make hard decisions? Wow, there's a lot going into this. I think the first thing to think about is due diligence, right? If you're studying to come up with which college or what degree program to study or what type of career, due diligence is a pretty comprehensive term and definitely needs to be thought about. So this is doing your homework, right? Studying, it's not only studying the schools and going to the schools, but thinking about like what kinds of things would I like to study? What are the passions I have in life? And doing a lot of homework. So really, the big decision of what college to go to and what career to develop, that is a massive decision that does require a lot of effort. We've done a lot of coaching over the years. I've personally done a lot of coaching with people that are in that phase of life where they're emerging into adulthood and moving into college and moving into careers. And you want to do some really comprehensive work around that. That's, more than just that what you're going to get from this video. But I think we can get some scaffolding in place with us with this discussion today to give you some thoughts about things to keep in mind when making any really big decision. So do your homework. Don't rely just on what other people are telling you or other experiences. I want you to do your own homework. You've got to get on there. You've got to do your online research and your in-person research. This is why things like, with careers, internships and job shadowing and getting out there and seeing the world and networking, going to business development meetings, going to business networking meetings, going to different industries and really interviewing people and doing a lot of due diligence there, especially nowadays where the cost of, student loans are huge, interest rates are big around it, and the cost to go to university is much higher than it ever has been. It's higher than the incomes that people have generally. So there's been this discrepancy there. So you want to do your homework around that and really, be informed about it. It used to be that going to college was more about this discovery, and it really does need to be about discovery, but dang, that's an expensive discovery, right? So doing a little more homework when thinking about college and going out and exploring a little bit, working and saving up some money, sometimes those things will help make it so we can make a more informed choice. So with anything, do your homework, right? Dating, right? That is homework. Date a lot with a lot of different people and spread it out. So, if you're thinking about this principle applies to all major decisions. Do your homework, be informed. Bounce ideas off of trusted confidants, but don't take what they say as quote unquote gospel, right? So ultimately, it's your journey and your core values and your dreams need to guide the decisions you make. However, your trusted confidants are good, good friends, good family members, close loved ones. Obviously, getting a professional life coach or even a counselor, something like that, a professional, a career counselor, depending on the what it is you're looking at, getting a trusted confidant that's well informed themselves, or at least can be a really good listener to bounce ideas off of and to get some opinions, but ultimately the decision does need to be yours. So you've got two weighing here. We got the weigh out pros and cons and weighing out likes and dislikes. I like when people do both of those. Everyone's done the pros and con list. sometimes people will only do a pro and con list and then they find themselves still kind of frustrated. So you've got to do all this stuff. And the likes and dislikes gives you a chance to be preferential. What are your preferences? Instead of just the pros and cons, right? For instance, if I'm weighing out, should I work in finance or should I work in medical, right? If you're just doing straight pros and cons, one side might look more attractive financially. But if you're not weighing in your likes and dislikes, you might find yourself in a career that you don't love. And so it's actually miserable to go to work. You might be making six figures, seven figures, whatever, making a bunch of money. But if you hate your job, is that really what you want? So taking into account the likes and the dislikes is also helpful. An important compass, like we have our 5 focuses that we have people develop, is to weigh your big decisions against your values and principles that you live by, against your dreams, against your wants, your deepest wants. And then also take a look at the impacts in the here and now. If I make this decision to go to this university, if I make this decision to date this person or be exclusive with this person, what impacts does that bring to my life in this moment? What are the implications around it? What are the positives? What are the negatives, etc.? But then also taking some time to, and I recommend journaling all of these, writing all of these down, looking at the impacts down the road. Hey, if I date this person long term and we, start to build a life together, what does that really look like? Do our goals align? Do our values align? Do we have the same desires around family and parenting? There's a lot of down the road stuff that you need to start thinking about with bigger decisions. And, looking down the road, I think is important. No one has a crystal ball, but we can do some projecting and that can help us weigh out our decision making. So that list right there, doing your homework, being informed, bouncing ideas off of confidants, weighing out pros and cons, likes and dislikes, weighing against your core focuses or wants or values or principles, looking at the impacts of the here and now and the there and then. All of those can really help hone in a decision. And then you've got to make a choice, right? Now, there's a deeper layer here to think about. And this, I think, is especially important when we're talking about the big decisions of life. This is that inner voice. There's a lot of names given to this, but it is a thing that people experience, feeling it in your heart and in your mind, something inside of you that ties in with your compass, an inner guidance system, a guidance system that may be connected if you are a religious person or a believer, such as myself. It's 100% inseparably tied for me to deity, to God, and to, weighing things out. But everyone's got to figure out their own journey, obviously. But practice is there to get you in touch with whatever you're calling your inner voice. I have opinions on what that is, but I think anyone can access it and everyone should access it. Meditation, prayer, pondering, doing something to create inner stillness and quietness. This is why we do recommend stuff like journaling and writing down stuff with decision making, especially with big decisions, because just writing it down can help you tune out the world, tune out everyone else's opinions and ideas, and you can get real with yourself and your inner voice and your inner self to figure out, what do I really feel about this? Is there a nudge? Is there some guidance from something bigger than myself that can nudge me in a direction and help open up doors and opportunities for me? When we're doing this internal type of work to help us with our deep decision making and big decision making, it's important to use the letting go methods we teach, to let go of fear, worry, and second guessing. Fear tends to muddy the waters around big decisions. We find ourselves what ifing ourselves into decision paralyzation. Not recommended. So when we're doing this meditation and this prayer and the inner voice work, and even all the other kind of more didactic stuff we mentioned today, or practical stuff, it's important to let go deeply of fear and worry, and lean into, embrace feelings of love, faith, trust, courage, grit, resilience, positivity, a hopeful mindset, because great things are going to come to you. Everyone has the opportunity and can create opportunities to have really cool things happen in our lives. So I like to think of decision making as both of these, concepts, that you do your informed work and your background work that's really practical, and you write it all down, and then you take it and you meditate on it, you pray on it, you take it to your higher power, higher being, take it to God. You take it to, your values and what's important to you. Take it to your inner self, your inner wisdom, whatever you're calling that. Do both, the head and the heart. Do the internal work and the external work when you're working to make decisions. And that'll help you really align everything and get things kind of lined up to have the best decision possible with the best outcome. So, those are some key concepts to think about. Like this video if you liked it. It was good to spend some time with you. I love this topic. I coach people on this constantly. Don't be a stranger. If you need some coaching, let us know. We've got a team that does help people with big decisions on the regular, and we've all been there and done that. So we've got some things to help you out with and tools there. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you in the next video.